Thomas_K Gallo 24. Are we back?
Yeah, I believe we are, and I don't know why that's happened, but I am starting strongly to suspect that it's the mosquito.
K Gallo 24. Seems good.
Yeah, but loading up the mosquito for some reason seems to knock out OBS. I've had this happen before a number of times, and it always seems to be mosquito, and it always seems to have knocked out OBS. Then when I start OBS again, everything seems fine. I hope. Can you confirm you're receiving me?
Thomas_K Gallo 24. Yup.
That's great. Thank you, sir. It also does odd things. It loads of windows I have open, and like it blanks the windows, and when I hover over the windows it brings those parts of the windows back, apart from the moment on one of them it's not. I can't work it out. It seems to be related, whatever it seems to be related to the mosquito. So I can talk a little bit about the mosquito if you like, just so that you can see what I'm doing and why.
Thomas_K Gallo 24. Sure.
Okay, well I'm not terribly used to using this aircraft yet. Yeah, as you can imagine, I haven't had it that long, and I've still flied it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Chris. I was just saying to Thomas that the problem seems to be when I load up the mosquito, it takes out OBS, my streaming software. It takes that out, knocks it all offline, and it always seems to tie up with the mosquito, which is a pity.
XCX. No worries.
Okay, well I'll talk a little bit through. I'm going to put some lights on once again, because you can see this whole panel is pretty dark, and that helps. I've also got lights on the other side. Oh, but I've got to put the power on. Right, that light's on properly. That makes the panel a bit easier, but they need to look at this because there's buttons up there, buttons and covers, that are difficult to see. You have to zoom in properly to see them properly. So I'm going to put on some electrics over here. This one here is it's to do with the beacon. You'll hear the shishing when I turn it on, and when I'm near one of the beacons you get a Morse code of some sort, or beeping. I can't remember what it is now. So there's the static. Make sure once again my brake is on. Make sure my prop pitch is fully forward, and I'll turn on my fuel. What's that? Oh, that's Warhawk in his P47. Well, that sort of fuel sorted out. By the way, in case you don't know, that seat there can be occupied. So if someone else, e.g. in my case Lexor, has the Mosquito, we can each jump in the other's aircraft. So if he's flying, I can jump into his observer seat. If I'm flying, he can jump into mine. And in the observer seat, by putting the hang on, By putting that down, you see you get full access to the radios at the back, and that is quite a job all by itself. There's tons of information that you could work on for that.
Gallo 24. I had a British friend in school. His grandpa was on that seat during the war.
Ah, right,
Thomas
in the radio
_
seat,
Gallo
right.
24. In
Okay.
the radio.
Yeah. Well, I'll put that back up just to make it neat and tidy. Right, so the fuel is on. I need to put the magnetos on. And before I can start the engine, like on a spit, we'd prime it. On this, we have to ask the ground crew to do that. Actually, before I go any further, in case I forget, I'm going to open the radiator flap. I'm also going to put a few other things on. And when I hit this next one, it will sort of swing my view round, because what it's doing is it's placing me in a position to see the gun sight, which you can't at the moment. So I'll put that on. And you notice it moved me, and now I can see the illuminated reticle. Right, so to start this, before I can start it, as with a split, it has to be primed, and I can't do that from here. I have to ask the ground crew to do that. And they can't hear me if I don't open the window. I'll use voice attack and hope that it works for me to get the ground crew to do the priming.
From the starter. Copy.
Okay, so we consider that done. I can now start the engines. I'm going to zoom in to make it easier to see. So I have to lift these covers for the port engine. I have to press that button. Okay, so press that starter, hold it pressed, and with the right hand mouse, that's with a normal mouse press, a left press. So with the right mouse, I then, holding that, right mouse, press that. So that one gets it going. Okay, so the engine is turning. Now the other press will get it started. So the port engine is running. Let's do the same with the starboard. I'm going to take a chance and not zoom in. I should be able to see it alright. Close that flap. It's not retaining the livery that I want, so I'll go in and change that. I'm not going to put bombs on, certainly not at this stage. So now I can choose what livery I want. That looks better to me.
Request rearming. Copy.
I'll close the window in case I get drafty. There's a few different things on this. When I want to put the gear down, I have to release this little catch first. So release the catch and put the gear down. Sorry, up I'm talking about. To put the gear up, it won't go up if I don't release that catch, and then I use that. Well, I've got buttons that do that. And likewise, when I'm coming into land, the flaps, there's a little catch here. So I have to make sure it's in that position to get the flaps down. course that's all accurate to the actual aircraft. Okay, so engine is running, and I'll just sort out my altimeter as usual. And adjust my rudder trim. There's the rudder trim just there, about that much, and then give it some nose down. Okay, I think we're probably good to go. So when I take off, I've got to make sure that I use my button to adjust, to change that catch, and then the other normal gear lever to get the gear up. That's for the bomb bay doors. And the steering on this is the same as for the spit. You have to left rudder and apply some brake to put braking on the left wheel. So let's go for that. Gear, yeah, brake is off, throttle up. There's a glitch, I think, on the Mosquito, in as much as the port engine will easily overheat and start steaming, and we figure that's not right. I think I need to adjust the sensitivity of the brake. There's loads of things that you continue to do with these things to make them work better for you. And I have had troubles taking off in this, so we'll see. I've also taken off okay, but let's just see how it behaves this time. Port engine is not steaming at the moment. About 1400 revs. Again, that's for the spit. I'm afraid of burning that engine out. trouble is I might have to use some braking for takeoff to brake the right wheel. I'm not sure that it's going to respond properly with just the rudder. Right, throttle back, collect my thoughts. Have a sip. Okay, let's see how it goes. And that's what I mean about it can be awkward. It wants to go one way, you try to adjust and it overcorrects, or I overcorrect, or it could be to do with the curves that are set up to which the brake and the rudder etc. respond to. So there's setting up as well that has to be right. So I'm going to use some braking.
It's runway clear.
I'm just taking off.
Okay. You're smoking. I presume you're in the Mosquito.
Yeah, and I'm really struggling for takeoff in this Mosquito. Yeah, so that port engine's steaming again. I'm really struggling to keep it straight. It overcompensates, or I overcompensate when I'm trying to, once it starts to weave off, bringing it back, it seems a very delayed reaction to respond, and then when it does, it over responds. It could just be me, of course. I think I might not do it as I have been doing it and as I have been successful with, and that was to very gently accelerate. I might just pile it on a bit quicker. Okay, let's see what happens this time. Brake off, throttle up. Once it starts to go, you can't control it. I can't control it. I'm sure it's down to me. I don't know why it weaves off like that.
You got a double mapping somewhere?
I don't know. I don't think I have. But it's just like it's all over the place. It's okay in flight.
Yeah.
I think it's to do with brakes and stuff.
Right.
Because I'm using brake to take off, because the rudder on its own won't do it. It won't hold it in place, even with the rudder trim, the appropriate rudder trim.
Yeah.
It won't hold it in place. I'll try it without using brakes, but I don't think it's going to have it. I'll get central again and try it without using brake. So at the moment it's a disappointment, this aircraft, for me.
Yeah.
Let's see the setting. Say again.
it was more stable than that, because we didn't have that level of issue when we first got it, did we?
You're having the issue?
Yeah, I've found it more difficult to take off in the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they have changed something. Right, I'll take the brake off and just go for it. No, the rudder is doing nothing whatsoever. But if I jump out, the rudder's working. It's not letting me turn the aircraft with the mouse. Another really frustrating thing that happens now and again. But I can see that the rudder's working. I'm getting full deflection as far as I get. So that's neutral, full right rudder, full left rudder. So I think there might be a bug with it. I might just jump in the spit again. Because it should not be that difficult. It should be easy to take this aircraft into the air. I don't know what's causing it. I'm going to jump.
And it wasn't that difficult though, wasn't it? That's the thing. It was. It used to be fine.
Yeah.
24. Tough.
Yeah, it's sad because it's a good little start up. It makes a change to have a number of things to do.
Nose over there. Okay.
And when we first got it, it seemed easier to get it off the ground, and now something goes drastically wrong. It starts to weave, fair enough, an aircraft is likely to do that, but the rudder does absolutely nothing, and the brake, it seems to be late to respond to. As I say, it works the same way as a spit, where you have to give it rudder and then apply brake to that wheel. So I feel as though they've broken something on it. Just not behaving. But you'd also have thought that if they've broken it for me, they've broken it for everyone, and I would have thought by now they'd be well aware of it. So the mosquito brake works exactly the same as the spit. So what I need to do probably is make a comparison on the controls for those two
The
aircraft.
G23s to the east of the runway seem to be a lot tougher than they were last week.
Well, they got tougher before last week, didn't they?
Oh no, I mean, even since last week, they're even more vicious.
Oh right.
They just tore me apart. I normally manage to get 3 Mavericks off and then the pass, but their tracking ability seems to have been remped because they just put a whole load of hurt all over me. I've got no HUD. I think my engines were hit possibly. Don't know if my gear works. I've lost all my pylon information.
Oh. Okay, let's give this another go.
Coming in hot. 1.26.
Copy that.
Oh, we're not going to make this. Nope. Definitely not going to make this.
Chris_XCX.
Oh.
Good
Wow,
night.
wow.
Okay, Chris, thank you for letting me know, because that really is helpful. Thanks for letting me know. Good night, sleep well, catch you another time, hopefully. TTFN.
Chris_XCX. See you.
Roger that. See ya. Oh, we had a load of stuttering and staggering. 13 FPS at one point. When I loaded the Mosquito, again, it crashed OBS and various other graphics on my open windows. I was able to close OBS and restart it, and it was okay, but all to no avail because I don't feel as though it's working right. It seems loading up the Mosquito causes issues for me.
Interestingly, get into the Mosquito and I get a blip of encoder overload. Although that
Right.
seems to have stopped there. And I'll see how that goes.
Ooh, got quite a little freeze then.
hate these different maps as well.
Thomas_K Gallo 24. Any aircraft to shoot down.
There are some occasionally, but very often it's a long flight, so I don't worry. I'll see if I can find them on the map. Yep, there's a couple north of the airfield. Let's make a turn and see.
You know what, I really hate the engine style details here.
Can't hear you.
When-
Your mic down because I've got you at 200% at the moment.
I haven't
better.
changed anything.
That's it. That was totally different.
Perhaps it's just very positional.
Yeah, it's approximately.
Yeah, I really hate the engine starter covers because your mouse, when you right click to push the starter, when you release it, it closes the flap of the other one, the booster. So if you misclick, it doesn't matter. It closes the lid, and then that causes your release of the first one to let go.
Yeah.
And then you have to open them up again, even though you didn't even close them.
Yeah.
It's like
So
the default mapping is all mixed up.
basically, you've got to be very positive with the clicking, I suppose.
Well, positive with the clicking, and also rock solid with your head. You get the slightest variation, and they've got really small hitbox as well, which I think is supposed to be smaller than the actual button itself.
Couldn't respond then. I was on the other screen trying to adjust the volume, which I couldn't see because it was all blacked out because of the OBS issue. And then of course I had to get back onto this screen to be able to control the aircraft.
Yeah.
There's one. Damn it. Chasing a 109, I think it's a 109, and he went in the cloud, lost him.
Tyler Curry. Still fly the Spitfire nice.
Tyler Perry. Do I know you? You're saying still, so have you seen me before? Is it a name I've forgotten? Have you changed your name?
Tyler Curry. College.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was flying the Mosquito, but it has bad effects on my computer for a start, and it's I think there's a bug on it because it's very difficult to take off. Things don't work as they're supposed to.
I followed you since the 15th of May.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
Tyler Curry.
I've now got to try to find the 109.
Right, I just managed a moderate takeoff.
But it wasn't swinging all over the place then? We'll have to compare notes on controls.
I could tell you what I did to achieve it. When you throttle up, what's your throttle up?
Well, I was trying it very slow, but that still doesn't do it, and so I thought, no, I'll throttle up more quickly, and it still doesn't do it. I'm chasing these 109s around, I can't find them. I'm chasing where I think they are, not chasing them. I can't see them. Out of ammo because I used it on the ground, didn't I? Oh well. RTB. I'm looking at the time and thinking I'll probably land and fold it there.
Right, okay. It's close. I think I must have taken some damage. Hang on, someone's on the red side. Who we got flying red? Oh, damn it.
House to arm. You know house to arm?
What's that? House to arm?
Yeah. House number 2 arm, all one word.
What about?
But he would need a password to get in, wouldn't he?
Sorry, I didn't. You might have cut off some of your transmit. I didn't.
It's the player on the other side is house to arm, and he would need a password to get in.
There isn't.
That must be someone you know, I would have thought.
Where are you seeing house to arm?
In the list of who spawned in, who shot what.
Oh, right, house to arm, right. That's not a player.
Oh, okay. It looks like a player name.
It does, it's a unit ID. House 2, it being a style of house. Arm being
Oh,
armed.
okay. Only sort of glimpsing across. I don't understand a lot of stuff that's there anyway. Sorry, wrong button. So Tyler Burry, are you still there? Would my viewers like to say hello, just so I know who's there? Because I'm thinking of closing the stream now.
Thomas_K_Gallo24. Alright.
So I'm guessing that it's Tyler Perry and Thomas that we still have on the stream. Is that right?
Thomas_K_Gallo24. Maybe.
Well, Tyler Perry was the other most recent viewer to say anything, and it says that I've got 2 viewers. I don't know how correct that is. 2 viewers on Twitch, and Tyler Perry was on Twitch. Warhawk, give me some nice little buzzing. Okay, I'm down. It's 2:10, so I'm going to fold there and perhaps pick up next week.
I don't know if you heard. I don't know if I had managed to get my mutes mixed up or anything, but I did manage one successful takeoff. With the mosquito.
I caught that. You're saying, but you didn't know how you did it.
Yeah, well, I was wondering what your throttle up methodology was.
Yeah, well, I did explain that, but perhaps I wasn't hitting the button right. I've tried 2 ways. I've tried throttling up very gently and gradually picking it up. The rudder does nothing, so I'm using braking to try to keep it straight. That didn't work. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll just throttle up more abruptly, more smoothly and abruptly. That still didn't work. So I just get the feeling there's something wrong with the aircraft, because that aircraft also kicks out OBS for me. I'm sure it's like every time it's failed, it's been with that aircraft. So there's something about it that's kicking out, causing a strain and kicking out OBS. And I just don't know what's going on, why I can't control it. I used to. We did, didn't we? As you said, when we first got it, it was more controllable, I'm sure.
Have you... the way I took off, I think, was I throttled up a little bit and then let the speed of the aircraft stabilise, and then throttled up a little bit more. And then a little bit more, so it wasn't necessarily abrupt, and it wasn't slow and steady, and it wasn't fast and steady. It was more stepped.
Yeah, I've stepped. I think I've pretty much tried that as well, but the problem isn't necessarily just that. It's a case of when it goes offline at all, that's it. You can't get it back on. Or at least I can't. As soon as the aircraft starts to wander, I can't control it. It just goes all over the place. It's like the rudder does absolutely nothing. I had full right rudder, and I had some kind of speed that you would think the breeze going over the rudder at that speed would have some effect, but it had none whatsoever.
Right.
So it's as if, like, although I'm moving my rudder and the rudder's moving, it wasn't responding to the airflow over it, or the aircraft wasn't responding to the airflow over the rudder. That's what it felt like to me. And maybe I just need to check settings. I think probably at some point when we're not online, just to sort of get there and compare notes on our control settings.
So I think I've got my curve set to like 12 or 15.
Let's just have a look at my... Oh, I can't. I'm not in that aircraft now. Well, I can. I can still select the other aircraft even though I'm in the spit, can't I?
Select what, sorry?
And go to controls and select the other aircraft even though I'm in the spit.
Yeah.
What axis were you talking about then?
Probably the pitch.
Oh, yeah, no, the pitch I'm okay with. It's, to me, it's the rudder and the braking that seem to be my issues. It's just not straightening up. I can't straighten up. It's like it responds too late, and then when it does respond, it's like over the top. I'm going to actually take a look at the spit braking and see what that's like.
My rudder is set to a curvature of 10.
Okay, I'm on my wheels at the moment, so my wheel brake. Let me just check that. I think it's lost. It's not retained it because this has got a 45-degree line for the wheel brakes, and I'm fairly sure. Well, I'm definitely sure that I had a curve on that. A curve and lower saturation on the Y, I'm sure. So let's do that. So I can't set it up the same as the spit because I think it's too sensitive. Oh, I don't know. Just doing this could take an hour. That's the trouble, isn't it? You have to do this separately when you're not actually flying. Let's see what I've got. I'll check that again. The axis tune on the spit because mine's a slider. Yours is digital, isn't it? So I've got it not as a slider. It's not inverted. It's all unchecked. Let's see what I've got it set to on the other one. I think it's different. No, it's the same. So my braking on the Mosquito is the same as it is on the Spit, but it doesn't work the same. I don't believe so. Certainly not on Takeoff. Okay, let's look at my rudder. Right, so on the Mosquito, you've got a rudder that's different to mine, I think.
Right.
Did you say you've got a saturation of about, what?
No,
no.
curvature of 10.
Curvature of 10. I'm sure we've been through all this, although I've got a feeling it all reset anyway in some way. I don't know why. What's your saturation on that?
The other bits are all default.
Okay, so that's straight. So there's not much curvature there. No dead zone.
No.
I don't think that little bit of kink in the curvature, I don't think that's going to solve my problem. That's not enough. What I'm getting is too drastic for that.
Yeah.
Brakes are the same as Spit. We can't compare brakes because you use digital. So that's about as far as I can go. I don't think it's going to make any difference. And to test it, I'd have to jump in and start up and go for it again, so I won't worry about doing that. So, having said all that, I'm going to fold and say maybe catch you next Friday.
Yep. Yeah, I'll try and get on earlier next Friday as well.
Yeah. Okay, well, for anyone that's catching me on Laxor's stream, good night to you all, folks, and have a good one, and maybe catch you all again next week. And likewise, my stream I'm going to close, so good night to my stream. TTFN.
Take care.
Bye.
Thomas_K Gallo 24. Alright, good night.
Yep, good night, Thomas. And good night whoever else is there, of course, because I'm not sure about the other one. But good night to everybody. Going, catch you another time. Good night, TTFN.